وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Um, uh, a different day, inshallah, no problem. This is like, anyways, a Muslim Q&A. If she was ready, you can maybe have her now, but maybe a different live, inshallah. You can contact me on social media like Instagram, Twitter, or something like that to arrange a specific day if you want, or maybe something privately if that's what you want as well, inshallah. عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. عليكم السلام وعليكم السلام وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Certainly not with Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. You're assuming that the Injil was a book anyways, and we do not say that by necessity it was a book. It can be teachings and it can be a book. Either way, the original is not available today. If you want to know the teachings of Jesus, read the Quran, where Jesus himself tells you not to associate partners with God and to worship God alone. Dua, yeah? It's very busy weeks. It's super busy weeks. And it's still very busy as well. There's many things to do, basically. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My wife is Christian and she says she will never. Why did you marry a Christian that is not open-minded to anything else? So you should seek advice before marriage, not after marriage. Brother, please give some advice on how to behave these days in front of these escalations with Muslims. What would the Salaf do, akhi? I'm lost being a lima. I don't know what you're referring to, brother. If you're talking about persecution of Muslims and all of that, I think you should refer to the video where I spoke about the issues that were happening in India at the time. I think that video should answer any questions you have about this topic. So if anyone has questions about this idea, persecution of Muslims or whatever is happening today and all of that, I think you should refer to that video, watch it. It's titled What's Happening to Muslims in India, and then I think you'll get all the answers you're looking for. Jazakallah khair, Allahumma ameen wa iyyakum inshallah. I think I'm going to ban that person, but I don't know where the mods are. Should deal with that person. Yeah, last time one of the mods, I'm not going to mention their name, they're not a mod anymore, but they were very aggressive with the people in the chat. I had a lot of complaints from the people. May Allah Azza wa Jal free our brothers and sisters all over the world, in Palestine and elsewhere. And they were very aggressive with the people. I removed them, and I got a lot of complaints about them. And I think I'm trying to get some more mods, inshallah, who are always regular, so they can help. Let me see the people who are regular now, so I can add some people maybe. Okay. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. I will moderate. No, you won't. I'm the one who chooses, not the people who choose who's going to moderate or not. Brother, can you give me your thoughts on Israel and Palestine. My thoughts is the thoughts of every Muslim uh, who fears Allah Azza wa Jal, and spoken about the issue multiple times. And unfortunately, it's always a regular thing. And Muslims, I don't know, they've not have been accustomed to understand that the hypocrisy is a real thing. And us complaining about the hypocrisy, unfortunately, is not changing anything. And we need to start changing our situation ourselves. But to complain about them being hypocrites, we know they're hypocrites, and we can see the hypocrisy. Just like you just look at the titles of whatever is going on, right? You call it terror attacks on whatever it is, this occupied state, and how they're making it seem, and how it actually is in reality. So, Allah al-Musta'an. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ameen. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Sorry, or yeah, is the mod thing. Let's see if we can catch some regular people, and then we can mod them if I recognize them. Yeah, she is. But we need more than one, obviously. We have some, but more is better. I think this brother, he's very regular. This brother here, inshallah. Let me make you a moderator. Let me see. See someone else who's regular as well. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. No, I don't know who you are. If you're regular in the channel, I see you all the time, then yeah, but I don't know who you are. Do you prefer streaming dawah versus street dawah since you reach more people, although it might come with more headaches? I like both, to be honest, but the here there is more control, I would say, because in the street sometimes you get some annoying people who don't want to go anywhere, but here you can just remove them from the stream if they're disrespectful or they're not sincere or all of these type of different things, right? So I would, this is what I would prefer, the live streams and this type of idea of having more control over the trolls and the people who are not serious. This is the only thing, but other than that, I like both of them, to be honest. Each of them have its own flavor, as they say. So it's different because on the streets you can see the person in front of you as well. You can more read their body language and all of that a lot more than it is on live streaming. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay. Mustafa as well. Let me mod him. Inshallah. 1 second. And probably one more moderator or something, and that's it. What are the tasks of the moderator? They moderate. They look at the chat and they delete inappropriate comments and time out people who are not good and things like that. I do not know who you are. This sister as well is quite regular. Let me know if you want to be moderated or no as the last moderator today. Aki, where can we do hijrah to? Which country is better in your opinion? Saudi for sure, but costly. What about? I don't know what you mean. Two thirds from 2 from 3. Uh, I like Kuwait. I think Kuwait is a good country. Qatar as well is good. Uh, if you can go to the Emirates, but not Dubai specifically, because Dubai is like the West in a way. It's not much different. I like as well Malaysia, Indonesia. You might have some problems with earthquakes and things like that, but generally they're very beautiful countries. Turkey is okay, but it's not good these days, especially to do with the Arabs. Like there's a racism going on there a little bit. So I like Turkey, but it has some issues here and there. So these are the options that I would be thinking about personally, to be honest. Saudi, I don't think it's that easy for you to find a place and stay there and get all of the kind of government paperwork and all of that. Okay, yeah, that's fine, no problem. That's why I'm increasing the number of moderators. I didn't know that they're streaming, by the way. You know what? We're gonna do some Q&A here, and then I might move into EF Dawah, pay them a visit. What do you guys think? inshallah. الله يوفقك يا حبيبنا محمد يا أحبابك جميعا اللهم انصر إخواننا اللهم آمين جزاك الله خير brother. May Allah Azza wa Jal accept from you. No, 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 it's okay. Let them they writing in Arabic as well is fine. I can deal with them in the Arabic as well. It's okay. Not everyone can speak English. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, there are some reasons. There are some reasons. I'm trying to keep the lives early for some reasons. Can Muslims ask? Yes, Muslims are asking, isn't it? والله يا أخي أنا ما أشوفك كثير حقيقة يعني. Okay, so we'll add this sister as the last one, inshallah, and next time we can look for more moderators. I think it's enough for now. Who said I was supporting anything? Okay, may God bless you, brother Muhammad. Inshallah, Jazakallah khair, brother. Come to Kuwait. Inshallah, yeah, maybe one day. Why not? Inshallah. Okay, people, they agreed I can go. Okay, we'll just do 1 hour here, inshallah, then we move there. يا أخي الكريم, it's okay if they do Arabic language or English. Channel is not specific to the English, by the way. That's why we translate the videos into Arabic language, and they're available. Assalamu alaikum. Akhi, is it fine to take a question from chat and post it using the donation message so you can see? Barakallah fi. If you want, I'm not gonna say no. It's up to you. لا لا يجوز للتثقف خاصة إن لم تعرف أساسيات دينك وعقيدتك. No, brother, you want it too much. That's why. That's why I'm not allowing you to be. It's a job that you cannot fulfill. Okay, khair, inshallah. Let me remove you from moderation and we'll add another person, inshallah. No problem. Uh, Let me see where you are. So many comments. Okay, remove as moderator. Okay, we'll see another person, inshallah. No problem. Inshallah. May Allah Azza wa Jal give them ease. Allahumma ameen. Not today. Not today. Someday this week, maybe Thursday. There's gonna be some other day in the week, inshallah, but not today. والله الله أعلم. How old are you? I'm older than you. That's how old I am. You should stream on Twitch. Why would I do that? Why would I bother everyone watching with 100 ads per minute? And why would I be on the like degenerate platform anyways? So driving traffic for them, so people can go and see all of the nonsense and rubbish that they promote. That's the last thing I would do. Is it true that patriotism is acceptable in Islam? Personal Israeli issue is an Islamic issue, not a state issue. You have to explain what you mean. What do you mean by being a patriot? In which sense being a patriot is you be acceptable or not acceptable? Our issue is, of course, the issue which is an Islamic issue is the issue of Masjid al-Aqsa. This is an Islamic issue, and this is one of the holy sites of Muslims, right? So based on that, this is an Islamic issue. Yes, absolutely, it's an Islamic issue. Also, the idea that your brothers and sisters being oppressed, this is an Islamic issue because the Quran commands you to support your Muslim brothers that are under oppression, and it is clear cut in the Quran. So it is an Islamic issue. Like, of course, it's an Islamic issue. Me. Okay. آه، المرة القادمة إن شاء الله. خلينا نشوفك المرة القادمة ونفكر في الموضوع المرة القادمة إن شاء الله. Are people so busy with moderating? You can ask your questions. You know, this live is for asking questions, not for asking to be a mod, isn't it? So, okay. Assalamu alaikum. I would be grateful if you could do dua for me and my son. I have got trouble past and I want to be. May Allah Azza wa Jal guide you and your son and guide us as well and keep us on the truth and make you from the people of the Quran and make your son from the people of the Quran and people of the Salah who keep their Salah and keep their connection with Allah Azza wa Jal. And inshallah grant us all the highest level in paradise. Allahumma ameen. I know, I saw you, but you want too much to be a moderator. That's why I know. So that's the reason. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me take this. Sorry about that. You know, when your father is calling, you have to answer the call, you know, even if you're live. Akhi, it's crucial for us to differentiate between sects within Islam. Do you consider to do a video explaining it for us, please? Uh, well, inshallah, I thought about it. I'm going to see. Maybe, maybe not. It all depends, inshallah. I'm not sure. I need to think about it a bit more, to be honest. Bukhari, do you have info on the creation? Please put the hadith, not a number, because I do not know. Brother Hisham asks, Assalamu alaikum, brother. What are books behind you? I know the topic. If you go to the first live I did, it's called test stream. The first 6 minutes or something like that, I already spoke about what are the books behind me. You can refer to that stream, inshallah. I'm starting da'wah. Any advice? Seek knowledge first, and when you have the knowledge, then start the da'wah. Do not start the da'wah without knowledge, because you will do more damage than good. أخي محمد، لماذا البركة السلفية دائما يتهجمون عليها؟ المسلمين في الغرب ويعتبرون السلفية تكفير. واستغربت من هذه النظرة عندما أتابع في الغرب جعلني أبحث كمسلم أتبع السلف الصالح أنها عكس. Wallahi, people, they fight the truth. People fight the truth. And if following a Salaf al-Salih and living like our righteous predecessors lived, if this is what Islam teaches, then people will attack the best understanding of Islam, of course. So people will attack the people who try to follow Salaf al-Salih and who try to live like them and believe the same thing that they believed in. So the truth is always attacked. Can hear you, by the way. Was it not muted, or are you just saying that? I think it was muted. You're just fabricating these things. Okay. Akhi, walk us through your home library one day, inshallah, would be great. I don't have a home library, by the way. These are the books I have that are behind. May Allah reward you. Allahumma ameen. Is lying in a joke haram? 100%? 1000%? Prophet ﷺ said, Waylun, woe be to the person who lies to make the people laugh. Woe be to him, woe be to him. So this is like, there's no doubt that this is a sin. And lying is considered from the major sins as well. Sometimes walking to the masjid this Friday because I wanted to do a good deed. So why are you telling us you wanted to do a good deed? You know, should be between you and Allah. On my way, some brothers who I recognized offered me a ride. I declined because I wanted to do the good deeds. Was it wrong for me to decline the ride? It's up to you to decline the ride. And even if you took the ride and your intention was that you were going to walk to get the reward, then you'll be rewarded for your intention. And you'll also be rewarded for making your brother happy. So there's no problem in taking the ride. There's no problem in not taking the ride, as long as you rejected the offer like gently and nicely. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Please explain about black magic. Black magic is haram, and there's nothing to explain about it because it's haram to practice it. So I do not know about it, of course. Brother, is it correct to say an Athari who commits fornication is better than an Ash'ari who is chaste? Someone tweeted this. I don't want to start an argument or anything, just asking. Well, this will start an argument. It all depends on what type of Ash'ari they are. And it's not the person who determines who's better than who. It's Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who determines who's better than. If they mean by better that the person who committed the act of fornication, the other person is committing a major sin or a sin that is greater, they have to tell us which sin they're referring to and which Ash'aris are they referring to specifically. So this is how I would answer what you said specifically, not to just Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best. For those asking for mod, O Abdurrahman, this is what Prophet ﷺ said. Do not ask for authority. If it is given to you at your request, you will be fully held responsible for it. And it is given to you without your request, you will be helped by Allah in it. So this is the hadith. This is the principle, which is why I'm not giving mod to the people who are asking for mod. It was muted. Yeah. So the mods, if you see anyone lying like this, just honestly, just ban them or something like that. Because those people, they like to lie and they think it's a joke. Alhamdulillah for Dawah Salafiyah. Alhamdulillah for Islam. And Alhamdulillah for being a Muslim and following the path of the teachings of Islam. This is what you should thank Allah Azza wa Jal for. Being a Muslim. Assalamu alaikum. What should I do for Palestine from California? I do not know, brother. I do not know. If there is reliable people who are sending reliable help and donations and things like that, then you can obviously help through that. Other than that, there is nothing we can do except the dua. We make dua for them. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to aid them and protect them. This is what you can do. Of course, the dua is what every Muslim can do. It's too long. I had to cut off the first part, and there will be extra space in paradise until Allah creates another creation. Live in the extra space. So, what is the question then? What is the question specifically? Tell me. Assalamu alaikum, akhi. Can you please explain verse Surah Al-Baqarah where Allah Azza wa Jal says the martyrs are alive, but we don't feel it? Doesn't mean they're alive amongst us here in dunya. No, because the verse says أحياء عند ربهم. عند means with their Lord. عند is for place. So Allah Azza wa Jal tells you where they are. They are with Allah Azza wa Jal. They're not here, and they are in the barzakh. They're not in this life. Can you turn the hourglass? Why? Are you OCD? Yeah, if I turn it, it will start working normally, but no. Okay, I'm a strong believer. I've been having doubts because of the issue of. Can you please explain? Sorry, there's no such thing as whatever you quoted in brackets. There's no such thing in Islam. There's something called milk al-yamin, and that is a long topic to explain. Initially, there are people who are captives of war. They are treated like you treat yourself. If you clothe them from the same clothing that you wear, you feed them from the same food that you eat, and you do not overbear them in work. And if you do, you help them. You're not able to abuse them. You're not able to lash them. If you lash them, you have to let them go free. And they're able to go free themselves by ransoming themselves and going to a judge and give him money, doing something called mukataba. So this is just a basic answer to the question that you're asking. Yes, it's a Muslim stream. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. What is the aura for the same gender? For example, can I show my knee or belly to my friend who is the same gender? Woman or man? What are you talking about? You should have decency around other women as well as you do with your with the people who are not maharim. You should have decency, a level of decency. You shouldn't be showing your belly and all of that to another female. Even if you're a female, you shouldn't be showing your belly to another female or any of that, or your knee, or no. Do not do that. Okay. I'm going through a difficult time. I have asked for a guidance and to make me stronger. What dua do you make for guidance and to keep on the straight path? The dua of the Prophet ﷺ, where he said, Ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. O turner of hearts, keep my heart firm on your religion. And also, اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. Oh Allah, show us the truth as truth and guide us to follow it, and show us the falsehood as falsehood and guide us to avoid it. Uh, I mean, black magic, people can do that to us. Yeah, people can, yeah, affect you with magic. Yes, people who deal with magic can affect you with magic, but you can protect yourself by doing adhkar and keeping a close relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal by keeping your prayers and all of that. So I have a problem of secreting many randomly throughout the day. I do not know what you mean. I don't understand your question, brother. Uh, I do not understand your question. Does playing a game such as I don't know the game where you pick a character using charge them up to a major set and also does the update? I do not know these things that you're referring to, brother. So I cannot tell you the ruling unless I know exactly what you're referring to. I do not know the specifics of what you're asking. Do you know more about that creation? It's interesting. No, we do not know more about that creation. Except what the hadith told us, we do not have specific details regarding it. Okay. Is it allowed to do Umrah more than once while you are in Mecca? May Allah Azza wa Jalla grant you. I'm not going to say it's not allowed, but it is not the Sunnah. The Sunnah is that the Prophet ﷺ used to do one Umrah each travel. This is the Sunnah. And, but this idea of people doing 100 Umrah in one travel is something, I'm not going to say it's haram and you cannot do it, but it is not what the Prophet ﷺ did. So you can go and you do Umrah, and then you visit Medina, for example, and then you come back again, traveling again from Medina to Mecca, and do another Umrah. That's okay, but yeah, that's a way to do it, basically. Spending a few days in Medina and then coming back. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Can you explain a Sahih Muslim regarding combining prayers when you are not traveling in any state of fear? For instance, you can combine prayers with whatever else. Yeah. So the explanation of that hadith is simple. It is that the companion is saying that not the Prophet ﷺ combined prayers for things that are necessities where there was a problem other than the things that he mentioned. So not necessarily just for rain and not necessarily just for travel, but it can be another necessity. So because the narration itself, it says أراد أن لا يحرج أمته. When the companion was asked, what do you mean? He said أراد أن لا يحرج أمته. Meaning there can be a necessity other than rain and a necessity other than travel for you to combine the prayers. But there has to be a reason. So it's not just like, combining whenever you want to combine. So for example, let's say you're a doctor and you're performing an operation and you will go from the time of Dhuhr until the time of Maghrib. So because of that necessity, you're allowed to combine your prayers because it's a necessity and it's not necessarily rain and it's not necessarily travel. So it is other necessities other than rain and travel. So he mentioned some necessities and he said the Prophet ﷺ, he combined for other necessities, not only these ones. So it's not specific to these necessities, if you understand what I'm saying. And some other scholars gave a different explanation. They said that he waits until the end of the time of Dhuhr, when almost Asr time, and then he prays Dhuhr at the end, and then Asr time enters and he prays Asr. So they're too close, but they still, in each of them in its own time. But the explanation I gave is the one that is more likely because of the ending of the hadith that explains it, or the ending of the narration. Is it permissible to lie in fear of them being mad? Who's them? And lie to who? So you mean just because the friend is going to be upset? No, it's not permissible. If someone's just going to be upset that you, it depends in under what conditions, but generally, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Do you feel that reciting the Quran out loud on the steps of my county courthouse and the general public would be a beneficial reminder for the people of this country? No, I wouldn't recommend you doing that. How is it a reminder when it's the Quran is in Arabic and they don't understand what you're saying? معنى في قلوبهم مرض. What does in their heart there is a disease? There's many diseases of the heart. You can read Sheikh Islam Ibn al-Qayyim, where he talks about الداء والدواء, he talks about the diseases of the heart. There are many. Doubt can be one of those diseases, but there are many. Assalamu alaikum. Is it haram to celebrate birthdays, child's birthdays? You shouldn't be celebrating children's birthdays. That's a habit of disbelievers. There's nothing in the Quran and Sunnah that commands you to do that. It's not part of Islam. It's something that has been taken from the disbelievers. So you shouldn't doing it, and you should not do it, and you should not make your children do it as well, and you make them used to do these type of things when they're young. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum. Is it acceptable to pray Dhuhr and Asr together during Asr time? If you work nights and unable to wake up in that time. I do not know what you mean unable to work that time. You make an effort, you wake up, you pray, and you sleep again. No problem, inshallah. Wake up, pray, and sleep. A brother asked, is chicken in the West halal? I answered that question. There's a video where I speak to a revert where he's asked about his parents, if his parents are going to paradise or hellfire, where they're going. There's a video on my channel where I address this issue of the meat in the West. Assalamu alaikum, akhi. The other day, my friend went to visit his friend's grave with his family, and everyone smelled misk when approaching his. Is it possible? True, this is a good sign. Allahu alam, I do not know, brother. I do not know where the smell was coming from. And there is nothing in the Quran and Sunnah that says that you're going to smell a musk from a grave, and therefore this is a good sign or a bad sign. So there's nothing in the Quran and Sunnah that is talking specifically about this. So Allahu alam. Anyone know of an online English tafsir resource? Tafsir al-Sa'di, S-A-A-D-I, A-L-S-A-A-D-I. Akhi, is using missiles and bombs in war halal? What are the conditions of killing civilians in war? It's permissible to use certain weapons that can have casualties other than the combatants in war. So it depends on the context. And the ulama talk about that in detail. So it depends on the context. It depends on you cannot focus and target civilians. So you cannot attack civilians only. But let's say per se there's a castle and there are people who are defending the castle, and if you throw rocks on the castle, you will kill the people that are on top of the castle. But you will also kill the combatants on top of the castle, but you might hit the people behind the castle who might be civilians who you don't know about. That is permissible because you are not targeting them. You're not targeting the civilians. So you cannot just target the civilians and attack the civilians and kill the civilians that are not combatants. But what you can do is you can attack other male combatants, and there could be damages that could affect civilians unintentionally. In war, obviously, we're talking. May Allah bless you. What would you answer the question of who created God? However, it leads to infinite, but why could that not be possible? Why does the universe need to have a beginning? The answer to who created God is no one created God. Allah Azza wa Jalla is uncreated, and He creates everything. Therefore, the Creator is not created. That's my answer. Simple. I'm attracted to a Sikh girl. I try my best to avoid attraction in college. What to do? In any suggestion? I cannot see her going to hell. Can I make dua for her? You can make dua that Allah guides her. And it's not up to you who goes to hell and who goes to paradise. It's up to Allah Azza wa Jal. And stop looking at non-mahram women. Non-mahram women, stop looking at them and find a wife in the halal. Does work amount to necessity where the salah can be combined? If they have back-to-back meetings at work. Well, the ulama, they say الضرورة تقدر بقدرها. Everyone knows his situation and he knows what he can avoid and what he cannot avoid. I'm not going to give you a general ruling. You know your situation and you know what is considered a necessity for you that you cannot avoid. You cannot find any alternative that you can pray in. There's no alternative time that you can pray in. You know the necessity according to you, and each one knows necessity according to him. You know your situation and you will be judged based on that. Can you explain the verse 7 on 7? I am not your Lord. Did our souls exist before we are born? Did Allah ask us this? Did we have a choice for our test? Is it one question or 100 questions? Okay, so this is very simple. This is prior to us coming into this life. That Allah Azza wa Jal, the souls were gathered, and Allah Azza wa Jal made the souls testify that Allah is our Lord. That's it. The fitrah within you that you have, that you know that Allah Azza wa Jal is your creator, you know that there is a creator, you know that there is a Lord, and then Allah Azza wa Jal put you in this life, in this test. Now, do you remember this event? No, you do not remember this event, but the fitrah is there deep within you, that when you are given information about Allah, this fitrah is awakened and you know that there is a creator. And did Allah ask us this? Yes, of course, Allah asked us this. This is in the Quran. Did we have a choice for? Of course, we have a choice. This has nothing to do with choices. All it has to do is to establish that the people know that there is a creator above. Forgive me, I did not want to be explicit. I meant random throughout the day. But I put shuba, it happens when I pray. I do not know your situation. I don't want to give you a general rule. Your situation is more specific. So send me, inshallah, an email or details, your details on an email or Twitter or Instagram or something like that. And inshallah, I will answer you there. Because I need to ask you a bit more details. 8.5-year-old and her had her first period. Does daily prayer become mandatory as soon as she's okay, or how do we ease them into it? Yes, it is obligatory as soon as they reach the age of puberty or menstruation. Straight away, they are accountable for their deeds, whether they're 8, 9, 10, 11, it does not change it. You don't ease her into it. You're supposed to have taught her since she was 6, like the Prophet ﷺ commanded you, that you start teaching them since when they are at the age of 6 years old. So you should have eased into it in the beginning. And if you left the obligation now, then this is your fault now for leaving in that teaching of the Prophet ﷺ, when he said that you should be teaching them when they're younger. So now, how do you ease them into it? That is to do with you now, but you have to explain to them that now they are responsible and that they need to start practicing the teachings of Islam. Assalamu alaikum, brother. In the West, it became almost impossible to buy a house without taking debts with the interest. Don't buy a house, rent a house. Why do you need to buy a house? I did not buy a house. People, why do you need to buy a house? If you have a roof over your head and you pay your rent, you are living in that place and that's it. What is your background and education? My background and education is not of your business, with all due respect to you and without being offensive, Question from Ratawheed: can non-Muslim children inherit from Muslim mother? No. So the non-Muslim members of blood members of a family, they're not inherited, and inheritance is not given to them. Al-kafiru la yarithu wa la yuwarrath. This believer, you do not take inheritance from him and you do not give them inheritance. Permissible to pray behind someone with no beard? Of course, it's permissible to pray behind someone with no beard. It's permissible to pray behind any Muslim. Unless someone is not a Muslim, then it's not permissible to pray behind. Could you explain the 7,000 people into paradise? The Prophet one of them make another 70,000. So it's 70,000 times 70,000. That is the total number. 70,000 times 70,000. That is the total number of the people. Who are those people? The hadith is explaining. الذين لا يسترقون, the people who don't ask the people to do ruqya on them. ولا يتطيرون, do not believe in superstitious beliefs. وعلى ربهم يتوكلون, and they rely on Allah Azza wa Jal in their affairs. Right? Those are the people who the Prophet ﷺ spoke about them. Where is the righteous Muslim countries? Can you name who are those righteous Muslim countries who are full of righteous people who obey Allah Azza wa Jal and apply His rulings? Where is that country? Tell me, which country are you talking about? Can you share your thoughts on your experiences? Because Corner, did it help your da'wah skills? No. Speaker's Corner is just a place of lunatics most of the time. And what I did is I spoke to the new visitors there. If you watch my videos, I usually focus on the people who are new. They're walking, passing by. And because it's a place where people engage in different intellectual quote unquote discourse, so then it's easy for me to tell the people. They usually ask, what is this? And then I explain to them that people engage here. And then I just go into the conversation with them, giving them da'wah. But most of the regular kuffar who are there, they're just coming with doubts and they're wasting time, and they need to be in the mental hospital. But unfortunately, no one is putting them in the mental hospital where they belong. Is affiliate marketing for a trading school that has Forex haram? I do not know. Allahu A'lam. Why is the evidence in Islam that male civilians cannot be killed intentionally in war? Barakallahu fikum. The evidence is that the Prophet ﷺ said, you cannot kill a woman, you cannot kill children, you cannot kill workers, and you cannot destroy places of worship, you cannot kill cattle, and all of that. So when you target civilians, you're killing all of those people, or you're going against all of those commands together. So that's the evidence. What is the ruling on growing beard? It's obligatory to grow the beard, because I see a lot of imams, especially when they're Shafi'i, yeah, because they're Ash'aris and they twist the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ and they reject it, so they play games. So Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi, do you think he had a beard or no? Those people are not Shafi'i. They have nothing to do with Imam Shafi'i. If they were, they would have a beard like he had a beard, you know? So having a beard is an obligation. Yes. It's a wajib. It's a fard. What is qada prayer and what are the reasons? Qada is where you miss a prayer and then you make up for that prayer that you missed. You're sinning because you missed the prayer. If you have no excuse, like sleeping or becoming unconscious or something like that, or forgetting. So if you didn't miss the prayer for these excuses, you are a sinner, and then you have to make it up. And if you miss it for those excuses, then you're not a sinner, but you still have to make it up. So qada is just making up the prayer that you missed. Hamas attacks affecting the Israelis. I do not know, brother. I do not know about I do not know about Hamas. I do not know about the details of the whatever is going on there. I just heard about this literally yesterday night or something. That some things are going on in there. So I do not know the specific details, and I have not had the time to look at exactly what's going on. Finding a reliable first, so people to give you reliable information. So I cannot tell you something I do not know. I need to look into this. Is auditing and a journal, which is an accounting? I'm not an accountant, brother. I do not know. You have to tell me the specifics of what's going on exactly, and then maybe you can get a ruler. Other than that, I do not know. Because you're giving me accounting terms that I'm not aware of. I grew up with Sayafihi, Shafi'i, you mean? Madhab? Husband with Maliki. We live in Western country. Can I follow Maliki opinion that wudu is not nullified and when I touch husband to make things easy in our marriage? No problem, inshallah. No problem, inshallah. No issues in doing that, and no problem, inshallah. But generally, stick to the madhab unless there is evidence, clear evidence that is opposing your madhab. Is touching ears during takbir, salah from the sunnah. Touching ears, no. Don't touch your ears. No need to touch your ears. Non-Muslims say that two Ethiopians prove the Torah was not changed because the Quran confirmed she's with them. Can you clarify this, brother? Jazakallah khair. Tell them to read the same Quran and to go just few verses before, starting from 75 to 79, where it explicitly says that these scriptures are corrupted. And confirming here does not mean that they are preserved. Confirming just means two things: that there are previous messengers who came with revelations. So Quran is confirming that there was previous revelation given to previous messengers, and it's also confirming the prophecies in those scriptures about Prophet Muhammad that he will come. That's what confirming means. Did we have a choice not to take the test before we were born? No, we did not have that choice. There's nothing in the Quran and Sunnah that says that. Do we have to follow a madhab? If so, how do we go about choosing? Why do each school differ so much on certain rulings? You do not have to follow a madhab. You do not have to, but you can. It's permissible to do so. You do not have to do so. And you can follow. It gives you structure. The reason the people follow madhab is because of structure. How do you go about doing so? Is the best to follow the madhab that is predominant in your location. So you don't get the people around you confused when you do things separate to what they're doing. And in the specific details of whatever they would do. And why do schools differ? That's a long, long discussion, you know. But simply because of the understanding of the evidence. Sometimes scholars, they do not hear the hadith. The hadith doesn't reach them. Sometimes they have a chain of the hadith that they think is weak, while another scholar, they have other chains which are authentic with the same hadith. Sometimes it's based on the understanding of the hadith. So there's many reasons why you would have differing opinions regarding certain acts, which are branches in the religion to do with the jurisprudence and fiqh. So it's a long kind of, this needs a lecture for me to explain to you why. If women are in military on the enemy side, would it be permissible to kill them in the heat of battle or in a raid? When you are in the battle, then we can talk about that. If a woman tries to kill you and you defend yourself you have to kill her by defense. If the only way you're going to defend yourself is by killing her, you have to kill her. And if you target, for example, planes or other like military kind of weapons that they use today, and you do not know who's driving it, and it happens to be a woman, then of course you have to. If you don't attack that woman is going to kill you. So you have to defend yourself. So if they're using women, and we're not intentionally targeting them, and the only way to protect yourself is that you have to fight back, then you have to fight back. So it depends on the situation. And we're not in war, so I don't know why people keep asking these questions about war. Are you in war, brother, or are you sitting in your home on a laptop or typing the question? I do not know. Which one is it? Question about your education was asked because you did not, that's not your business again, so I'm not going to answer you. I do not get why Jesus will come back and lead people to God again, because he will be the last prophet. Choose people who will experience him. He's not leading people to God. What do you mean? People will be following Allah Azza wa Jal when Isa alayhi salam comes back, and he will be following the teachings of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. So he comes back as a follower. He does not come back as someone who receives the revelation and gives you new teachings, a new sharia. He comes and he follows the same teachings of Islam, the teachings of the Prophet alayhi salam. And so he is just, will be a believer among the other believers. His messengerhood have passed already in the past. His prophethood and messengerhood. He fulfilled the duties of prophethood and messengerhood when he came the first time. Second time, he comes as a follower. Can someone answer this person? Because I don't want to answer him. Someone else can answer him. قال تعالى إن عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن أشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. Though this is not evidence and it's got nothing to do with that. And you open the books of tafsir, show me one hadith that supports this idea. This amana was offered to Adam, as the hadith says. There's a hadith which explains this verse that Adam was offered the amana. Amana is taklif, i.e. accountability and responsibility. It was offered to Adam alayhi salam. There are scholars who are of the opinion, if you read Al-Qurtubi's tafsir, for example, they will say to you, there's two opinions. One opinion is that the amana, because this verse doesn't even say the amana was offered to the human being. All it says the amana was offered to the samawat and the ard and the mountains. There's nothing in the verse that says it was offered to the human being, right? So he will say one opinion is that they say that amana was not offered to the human being to begin with. And another opinion, it was offered only to Adam alayhi salam based on a narration. There is a narration which mentions that. So it's not all human beings that they were asked, and all this is amana there. So like this idea that comes from a specific popular speaker to name, because this is very popular, Zakir Naik specifically, this is incorrect. What he said about this specific issue is incorrect. It's not based on the Quran or Sunnah or any authentic evidence, right? So I had enough of this question. I answered it many times. I don't want to keep answering every time, What is the response to those who say the rulers who do not rule by the Sharia and by democracy are not Muslims? I do not respond to them. They're not my business. Why do I need to respond to them? Is it okay to look for fatwa on Islam Q&A? I've heard to better explain your specific scholar instead. There's a room for both approaches, and you can take fatwa from Islam Q&A. Then restrict yourself to Islam Q&A then. But there might be a question that is not in Islam Q&A. And then obviously Islam Q&A is reliable in most of what it says, because it bases it on the scholars. So it quotes the ulama, Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, Ibn Baz, Al-Albani, and other scholars, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Al-Qayyim, Al-Dhahabi, Ibn Kathir. They quote to you what the ulama said about certain issues. Jazakallah khair for the beneficial knowledge. Allahumma ameen. Jazakallah khair. Sorry, it's permissible in three situations: in war, and to reconcile between two people. So you can say to the other person that he says good about you, he always praises you, so you can reconcile between them. And the third is to do some specifications of marriage. That you can say to your wife, for example, like, this food tastes very nice, when it's like you're about to throw up. But you can say, this is like, thank you for making this very tasty food, So that's an example, basically. Can you join the IEM? I do not know, man. Like, I do not know what the conference is. And last time I checked, you have to be invited, isn't it? You do not join. You don't just crash the party and just jump and say, you know what, I'm here today. Yes, there is a war going on, possibly a huge one. Barakallah. Are you in that war, or are you typing on your keyboard? That was my question. I said, are you involved in war? I didn't say is there a war going on or not. So do not twist my statement. Are you in that war? Are you fighting in the war, or are you sitting under a keyboard, under a screen, behind the screen? How do you do da'wah with Mormons who believe in the Bible, Book of Mormon, and modern prophets like Joseph Smith? I know other Christian branches, but not much about Mormonism. Can you help? Usually I tackle the prophethood of Joseph Smith, and I show all of the false prophecies of the future that he made. And then I ask them, why do you even believe that he was a prophet to begin with? And they usually have zero justification. And also you can tackle them with the ideas of the divinity of Jesus because they believe in it. So there's many ways to tackle them, basically. He says it's not permissible to miss Jumu'ah prayer without reasoning. Can you explain Jumu'ah prayer 2 rak'at versus Dhuhr prayer 4 rak'at? I get confused while attending the masjid. Please help, maybe an expectation video. This issue does not need a video. You always pray Dhuhr except on the day of Friday. The day of Friday, there's a ceremony called Jumu'ah where it's 2 units instead of 4 units, the usual 4 units. So it replaces Dhuhr. So the Jumu'ah prayer, the Jumu'ah ceremony replaces Dhuhr only on the day of Friday. And the prayer is different because there is first the khutbah, there's adhan, and there is a khutbah, and then there is the prayer, right? While in Dhuhr, you don't have a khutbah and you don't have this specific process that you do in the Jum'ah prayer, right? So it's a very simple issue, inshallah. There's no need to do a video on this. But I don't believe Jesus will read hadith when he come back. Okay, let's inshallah do not send any more questions, inshallah, because I'm gonna end the stream soon. Probably move on to Eid Dawah or something, you know. Maybe. Just stay a little bit there as well and then stop. But do not send inshallah super chats because the stream will end. But I do not believe Jesus will read hadith. He will come again. He will surely teach people by his words because he is the Messiah. It doesn't matter what you believe. You know, there is hadith on what Isa alayhi salam is going to do, and your opinion is irrelevant. You do not know what's going to happen in the future. Last time I checked, you do not know the future, and you're just saying your opinion without any evidence. So we don't care about your opinion. السلام عليكم. ما معنى النسخ في القرآن باختصار لو سمحت؟ فقد سمعت أن سورة الأحزاب كانت من أكبر السور ونسخت. نسخ means abrogation. يعني Allah Azza wa Jal commands one thing and then He gives you a different commandment on that same issue. I won't follow your videos anymore. Okay, don't follow me. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Is there a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ pouring water over a grave? According to the Salaf, this hadith is misunderstanding and not allowed. Can you please clarify? There are certain things that the Prophet ﷺ does that are specific to him. Prophet is not like you and me. He receives revelation from Allah Azza wa Jal, you know. He receives, and there are things which are specific to him that he can do that other people cannot do. So that's the explanation to you. So just because the Prophet ﷺ did a specific thing, like for example, the Prophet married how many wives? Can you marry the same number of wives that the Prophet married? No. So just because the Prophet did it does not mean it's permissible for all the believers to do it, because that was khususiyya, it was something specific to him. Why does literal translation say in Surah Tawbah, they took the scholars amongst lords besides Allah? The later one says, no, I don't understand. Why did you stop in the middle of the verse? They took their monks and priests as lords, and they also took Jesus as Lord besides Allah. That's what the Arabic says. I do not know which translation you're reading and how the translation works, but you cut the verse in the middle there, I think, and this translation is inaccurate, the way you put it. Because the way you stop there, you're changing the meaning. So you are doing tahrif of the Quran there. I heard Islam Q&A has some, because I don't think any translation puts it this exact way you put it. I heard Islam Q&A has some proof. I do not know. Speak to them. I said they quote the ulama. When they quote the ulama and the evidence, you follow the ulama and the evidence, and that's it. And I don't know what you heard, brother, and where you heard it. It's not something that I'm like familiar with. Should wear niqab in a country where it's dangerous to do so? I do not know, sister. I'll answer you easily by saying I do not know. There are two prophets. Okay, that narration there's a disagreement upon the authenticity of the narration to begin with. Why only we know a couple of them, and they said, you know that which is relevant to you and your guidance. That which is not relevant to you and your guidance is not necessary for you to know. Imagine the Quran mentions the story of if they were actually 224. Imagine the Quran mentions the story of 224,000 people. How big would the Quran be? Would you read it? Like, so the Quran gives you the information which is relevant to you, and that's it. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bro, I'm a Muslim. Just ask a question. Why you so rude? Wallahi, brother, if you consider me rude, there's no need for you to ask me questions. Perhaps go to other people who you would consider not rude, and they will answer you. So some people, subhanAllah, they're coming to fight. I I don't have the energy to fight with you today, you know? So perhaps fight with someone else, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, I'm an hour late. What did I miss? You missed a lot of things. So go back and watch the video, isn't it? Just questions, you know, from Muslims. Okay, let me try to head off, inshallah, to probably EF Da'wah. Brother, go smash EF Da'wah. What do you mean smash, brother? Or sister, I don't even know. We asked them if they want me to go or no, but we'll end the stream here and I might be there, inshallah, to pay them a visit. So you guys can go there now. Instead of being here, you can go there now, inshallah. Okay, brothers and sisters, let me see this last thing. Halal to eat from a Shia Rafida butcher shop. I would recommend you shouldn't eat from there because you do not know what they're doing and what type of meat and all of that. It's better not. There's many good shops that you can eat from, inshallah. Okay, let's end here, inshallah. Anything I said correct is from Allah. Anything I said wrong is from me and the shaitan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. I will see you on EF Da'wah's channel if I will go there, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.